Welcome to Thursday, January 14th, 2021. We literally just blew into today. Wow. Those winds yesterday in some parts of the region were just incredible. We'll show you a list of some of the wind reports, just some of them. The list is too long to show you. We'll show you the highlights. Unfortunately, it's going to be really windy again today in many areas. Now, the wind event today isn't going to be as widespread as it was yesterday, but there will still be some of you out there pummeled by the wind today and into tomorrow. Unfortunately, it'll go well into Friday for some areas of the High Plains region. Now, several features this weekend and early next week will bring some snow to the mountains, some snow showers to the plains. Nothing big, but northwest winds aloft will be pushing in weather disturbances this weekend and into the start of next week. Active weather next week, we have a lot of disagreement in the computer models, which is typical when you undergo a weather pattern change. So the details are going to be really hard to pick out other than to tell you expect the weather to be getting more busy, more weather systems coming in starting next week. Here are the wind gusts as of very early this morning. Again, this is just a partial list, but first prize goes to a Union Pacific Railroad sensor, 105 miles an hour. Now this is in the area just west of Cheyenne. 105 miles per hour. That's legit. That's a legit sensor. There's nothing funny going on. That's exactly what was measured. Arlington, near Elk Mountain, 94 miles per hour. There were several moments last night where the sustained winds at that Arlington Elk Mountain area were nearly 70 miles per hour. Sustained winds, gusting into the 90s. 92 miles per hour west of Cheyenne and Buford. And then again, look at Cheyenne Airport, 89 miles per hour. That caused many power outages in the Cheyenne area last night. Now, I stop here at Scotts Bluff at 86 miles per hour. If I showed you this whole list, it would take up several pages. The lowest wind gusts with this event were like 60, 70 miles per hour. If you had a 60 mile per hour wind gust, hey, you did pretty good. It was an extreme high wind event for sure. I do think that the worst of it is done. I don't see winds today reaching these levels, but they're going to be strong nonetheless. This is why. This is where the jet stream is going to be lined up by 5 o'clock this afternoon and evening. And you can see it's coming in from the north. Now, the good thing about the direction coming in more from the north, it's less due to come through the terrain features. When you take strong winds like yesterday and you put them through the mountain gaps, the canyons and the valleys, that accelerates the wind. That's one reason why you get these really high wind gusts. So the really strong winds will be right underneath this area of strong jet stream winds today. Eventually, these will move off to the east, but very slowly. By tomorrow, this area, this core of strong winds will be more lined up here, moving off to the east. West of the Continental Divide, you're going to see less wind today as the better jet stream support for the strong winds on the plains will be east of the Continental Divide. These are wind gust conditions for about the noon hour today, and you can see that's right where the winds line up. That will be the worst. The worst of the winds going to be in this area today. Now out here, we've got a winter storm brewing, snow falling, and 40, 50, 60 mile per hour winds. That's going to make for some nasty travel in the northern plain states. As we go through the next few days, we'll show you how things are going to line up with the weather pattern. This is where we are right now with the trough moving off to the east that came in last night. By tomorrow noon, we got a deep low over Illinois. We're going to have a major winter storm up into this area here, their biggest winter storm that they've had in a while. Snow, wind, near blizzard conditions will be found up here. So those areas finally getting into some winter. Lake effect snows will be developing in this area here as it heads off to the north and east. Now notice here in the west, California, the Intermountain West kind of having a break in the weather tomorrow. This little ripple right here does dive south into the backside of this system, and that will produce Saturday and Sunday a little bit of mountain snow. So this is the forecast for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can see the Black Hills, the Bighorns, the mountains of central and northern Colorado, southern Wyoming, Wyoming's northwest mountains will get into a little bit of snow this weekend. A little bit of snow on the plains of Wyoming, possible, South Dakota, Montana, Nebraska. but nothing that's really going to be a lot. Now, looking a little bit further out, this is for Monday. We have a larger, more moist system coming in. So as we get into Sunday night, Monday, this is where we talked about the pattern getting more active next week. We may have a little snow event, not a big one, but a little snow event late Sunday into Monday of next week. Keep that in mind. High pressure anchored off the west coast into the Pacific, eastern Pacific there will allow that jet stream to still be taking a dip. That's why it's going to be more active and busy. By next Friday, we can see the high is up here. That's in a good position to allow troughs to come into the western United States. Hence, we're going to get more busy. But the details are really fuzzy right now on which days next week will bring the best chance of snow. We identified that potential for a little bit of snow maybe on Monday. And then I think by the middle to the end of next week, we should be on the lookout for another snow chance in the west, along with temperatures that will be trending colder. Thanks for listening and watching the Day Weather Podcast. Don't forget, you can always find the podcast at dayweatherpodcast.com.